Welcome to 5-Round MMA podcast number 11. This edition of 5-Round MMA is brought to you today by CounterMove.com, the world's leading fantasy MMA website. Make your picks today at CounterMove.com. On this edition of 5-Round MMA, we will have an extensive review of UFC 156 and dissect all the main card bouts and try to figure out what the future holds for each fighter involved. Please welcome Alex Ramirez and Albert Cita.
Thank you very much, our producer, Guillermo Cita, and thank you to CounterMove.com. Make sure you guys check them out, CounterMove.com, Fantasy MMA. Albert, big night, fight night. Any initial thoughts before we start the podcast?
I just want to thank everybody for listening. Thank everyone that's been subscribing to you, to the iTunes. Keep subscribing to iTunes. Let's get on to the latest news.
Guillermo, what do you got?
Randy Couture backstabs Dana White and signs to be a coach for Bellator reality show.
Backstabs Dana White? You work for Dana White now? Come on now.
I would say more like a front stab.
I mean, a fighter can't make money outside the UFC now? How's that go?
Apparently not. Apparently you can't sign with Reebok. You can't
exactly.
make out. But yeah, Dana White's he's saying that Randy Couture is furthest from being Captain America.
Even that, he's going as far as that is like telling Ryan Couture, "Oh, do you even want to be in UFC? Because you go sign Bellator if
I'll
you
release
want."
you. You can go to Bellator. Sour apples.
I thought it was America, free enterprise. I can make money where I want to make money. Right, Dana White? I'm on Monopoly. Oh, okay, yeah, no Monopoly here, guys.
But yeah, it actually should be pretty interesting to see Randy Couture as a coach in Bellator.
So is this like a tough enough?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. They're making a Bellator tough enough. And Randy Couture's going to be one of the coaches.
So more Randy Couture and Babalu or what? More watered-down fighters fighting to get in the house?
Well,
whatever.
Enough with these sour grapes.
Yeah, stick around. Coming up, we'll have reaction review for Super Saturday, UFC 156, Aldo and Edgar, guys. Stick around.
All right, everybody. If you like what you hear out there and want to hear more of it, make sure to follow us on Twitter at 5RoundMMA and always check out the website, 5RoundMMA.com.
This edition of 5-Round MMA is brought to you by CounterMove.com, the world's leading fantasy MMA website. Go and get your picks on at CounterMove.com.
Now, after great fights from Saturday, we have reaction and review of Super Saturday UFC 156, Aldo versus Edgar.
Super Saturday, did it deliver, you think, Albert?
Before we even start, I got a bone to pick with the promotional team over there in UFC.
Okay, go ahead.
Because they constantly kept showing Alistair Overeem knocking out Tud Duffy in the first thing. And keep in mind,
the one highlight they had, right?
This fight was done in Dream. So that means they had to go out of their way, purchase the rights to show that footage. And it's really getting under my skin because, one, I think they're trying to send out a message saying, like, Tud Duffy, don't get a line again because, look, we're showing right now that you can get knocked.
It could be worse. At least not showing the Mike Russo highlights, so it could be worse, right?
It could be, but still, I got a bone to pick with them. But it doesn't matter anyways, because Tud Duffy will give them a highlight reel that they have plenty to choose from.
Especially now the wide open heavyweight division, but we'll get to that later on. But Super Saturday, Albert, you have any undercard highlights?
I got just a couple.
Okay, go ahead.
The first one being Kimura. Even though he didn't make weight, he came in at 139. It was a 135 fight.
Yeah, but, he forfeited some of his purse.
Yeah, he looked kind of sloppy in the first two, but then he showed what he was really made of in the round 3. Yeah. He's a young kid. He's only 23 years old. So he's someone to look out for, see his next fight. Another one was, I have here, it was Tyrone Woodley.
Yeah.
He made an impressive debut. He smashed on Jay Haran. I mean, I think the fight only took 30 seconds. He's also comes from Strikeforce, so he just made his stamp in the 170 division.
Yeah, especially after that big loss to Nate Marquardt. It's good to him get off to a UFC career on the right track.
Yeah, and the last one I want to mention is Bobby Green, which he's actually a Fontana native. He's from here, the Inland Empire. He went and pretty much dominated Volkman, I thought.
Yeah, good submission
after
win.
that horrible stand-up from the ref. But that was about it in the undercard.
All right, so you want to get to the main card now? Start with the opening bout, the flyweight battle between Joseph Benavidez and Ian McCall. What were your initial thoughts going into that one?
Freaking amazing.
Good fight.
Freaking Ian McCall, man. Not only did he like getting punched, he wanted to get punched.
Yeah, after landing a couple shots, he has this big old grin on his face, man.
Yeah, he was loving it.
But Benavidez come out the winner on top. Rightfully so. I think he was a winner. He kept busy, landed more
hard shots.
Yeah, more hard shots to McCall. McCall again,
even
the
though
tough
I
loser.
think if that was Mighty Mouse would have been done. Those were hard shots.
Yeah, so McCall the tough luck loser. So Benavidez wasn't really too eager to say like, I want Mighty Mouse next.
Yeah,
he kind of kept saying, well, if they offer it to me, I'll take it. And even at the post press conference, well, I want to make sure I'm the best I can be. So,
well, it's because the flyweight division is pretty confusing right now because it's pretty much 4 fighters.
Yeah, McCall.
What are they gonna do? Just keep fighting each other?
Apparently, I guess.
Well, let's move on to. It was an upset to everybody else. It wasn't to me because I called it right.
You picked Demian Maia?
I picked Demian Maia to win, just like I said. So
listen to the tapes. I don't know about that.
Anyways, Demian Maia, you can say Fitched, Jon Fitch.
So Demian Maia, is he legit welterweight?
Oh yeah,
now?
dude, he's a big 170.
Legit title threat.
Yeah, he's a legit title. He got to work on that stand up, but
I mean, you got Johnny Hendricks can knock any guy out. Stand up. Jake Ellenberg got strong stand up. Martin Kampman's got strong stand up.
They're all the same when they're on their back. Though.
That's a good point. Good point. Second question, Jon Fitch, man, are his best days behind him?
Sadly, they are.
So?
Jon Fitch either has to figure out another weight class he can jump on, or just ride into the sunset, get a couple 5 more fights, and that was a good career.
That's a shame. It seemed like he wasn't the same after he lost the GSP.
Yeah, you thought after Eric Silva that he reinvented himself and he was going to be this aggressor, his second big run, but
yeah, he didn't show almost like a lack of heart.
Yeah,
which almost like a recurring theme this card, wasn't it? I mean,
lack of heart.
Yeah,
that's what it should have been called. UFC 156.
Lack of heart.
Lack of heart.
We rest on our names and our laurels instead of actually showing up to fight. But yeah, Jon Fitch. Who knows what's behind him? Next was
the biggest upset of the year, and
the year just started. But okay, I agree with you.
My picks would have been perfect if it wasn't for Can Overeem and his cockiness.
That's good.
I mean, he went in there with hands down,
ridiculously cocky.
See that when your mom says don't play with your food, you shouldn't play with your food and just eat it.
Or don't play.
Or else it's gonna get you
perfect. Don't poke a Bigfoot in the zoo, because this is what happens. You poked a Bigfoot, and he got knocked out and get kicked in the face. So what does it do for Antonio Silva? Is he legit now, you think?
That puts him in a questionable number 1.
Yeah.
So it boosts up his stock, and Overeem drops big time.
So can he survive this, Overeem? I mean, or was it much like the hype too much to handle? He was on the UFC magazine cover, the countdown, just showing basically kind of kick it almost.
His head was big as it was. Yeah. It just got bigger, and Bigfoot deflated that real quick. He kept
saying, "Oh, this is a good warm-up fight for Cain Velasquez. I'm going after Cain, the title," and now he got knocked back down to earth. So what, JDS now, you think, maybe?
Yeah, and it's actually a pretty good thing for Overeem now. Maybe he'll start being more aggressive and quit playing with this food.
Maybe switch camps to the Black Zillions.
The joke Black Zillions.
Speaking of Black Zillions, the head of the Black Zillions, Rashad Evans, came out very uninspired and looked horrible against Little Nog.
Yeah, the head jokester himself from that camp, Rashad Evans, looking like trash, fighting like trash.
That camp is just horrible. Man.
Well, Nogueira got the win, and it wasn't an upset to me because I called it. I said Nogueira had that one, and he did have the one. It was pretty much a sparring match, you could say. And nobody really wanted to get injured.
Yeah.
But Nogueira got the best of them.
Yeah, it wasn't really an inspired performance by Nogueira. He didn't really come out and try to finish Rashad. He did just enough to win the fight.
And this was supposed to be Rashad's night, so he can drop down to 185 and challenge Anderson Silva. But
so with the loss, does he still drop down? Maybe he has to, because his career is like a standstill now.
He has no option now. He put himself in the corner. Now he got to get himself out.
He's
the only way to do it's at 185.
Yeah, I mean, because
and he's lucky too, because 185's up in the air, and damn Tim Bowe tried to throw a wrench in it. So
I think he needs to just get some breath of fresh air to his career, because Phil Davis wasn't very. I mean, he just wrestled him down on the ground.
Yeah, he needs to
same thing with Rampage.
His career.
I mean, he's very stagnant right now at light heavyweight, and he needs to move down, I believe. And the main event, Aldo Edgar.
Jose Aldo, he found his reach real fast, and it was pretty much if you've seen a Frank Edgar fight, I think you've seen them all. It was pretty much Frank Edgar getting mauled, trashed up in the first 2 rounds, and then all of a sudden he becomes awake in the 3rd, and then all of a sudden he puts his heart out there in 4th and 5th, and
loses.
He loses, but his corner says he won the whole fight.
So, do you think last night, Saturday's performance would warrant a rematch? Was that close enough in your mind? Was it?
Yeah, it was a typical Frank Edgar fight. So yeah, there should be a rematch. Should they do it? No, please. There's bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, I don't think just because he scored some points towards the end, I never really saw.
Look at his face, man. I don't care what anybody says. Oh, he outdid him 4 and 5. Well,
yeah.
Guess what? Your face got outdid in first and second.
There was not a single point in that whole match where I thought Jose Aldo was in trouble at all.
No.
I mean, you got a couple jabs here and there, good leg kicks, a couple takedowns. Yeah, but nothing where I thought, okay, the second time around, Frankie's going to get him. I did not see that at all.
I want to see Frank Edgar versus Dennis Silver, to tell you the truth, though.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, please.
But they kept reaching for stuff. Joe Rogan last night and Mike Goldberg. Well, you get Aldo on your back.
Hey, I'll tell you,
he's in trouble.
Joe Rogan will try to convince you that any fighter can still win when it's a freaking joke.
So yeah, do you think at all did Edgar show any weakness in Aldo's game at all? Even though the commentators were trying to fish for something. Get Aldo in the championship rounds, he could break. You know,
I seen other fighters show bigger weakness on Jose Aldo. It was a joke, though.
Yeah, so I guess coming up next, we'll have we'll answer some of the biggest questions following UFC 156 and try and look into the future a little bit, see what's next for all these fighters. So stick around.
All right, everybody. If you like what you hear out there and want to hear more of it, make sure to follow us on Twitter at FiveRoundMMA and always check out the website, FiveRoundMMA.com. 5RoundMMA is brought to you by SportsSceneTV.net. Get all your prep school sports information at SportsSceneTV.net. 5RoundMMA is brought to you by True Athletes Training Systems. Unlock your inner athlete at TrueAthletes.com.
Questions after questions. Now it's time for the biggest questions left after UFC 156. But Showtime, Anthony Pettis might have answered one question.
I know. So the biggest question for Jose Aldo was, they even asked him, well, do you go up to 155? Do you want to stay here? And he said, well, I'm going to stay at 145. And that left, who's going to fight up next? Ricardo Lamas from last week, who won on UFC on Fox, or rematch with Frankie Edgar. But I think, like Guillermo pointed to, Anthony Pettis might have to answer that question.
Yeah, he sent a text saying that he'll fight Jose Aldo, which is probably the smartest thing Anthony Pettis can do, because if he waits for Gil Melendez, Ben Henderson, he can be on the shelf for, again, another 6 months.
Yeah, because what's to say that fight's going to be a barn burner, another close rematch, or both of them get banged up so bad they got to heal up. Yeah. He's on the shelf for a while.
No, this is the smartest thing he can do, and potentially he could put himself to win 2 belts. And,
he could go back up and say, you know what,
and raise his stock up beyond belief. He'll go up there with the Anderson Silvas of the world. So if Anthony Pettis is, that was smart for him to call it out, and I wish that's what happens.
I think you have to. I mean, the way he destroyed Donald Cerrone, he has such a diverse stand-up that I think he could really go stand up and not have the confidence to bang with Jose Aldo.
Yeah, the thing is, Jose Aldo has good kicks, but has he ever taken a kick to the face?
Yeah, or a kick off the fence to the face, maybe?
Or maybe Jose Aldo was giving us a sneak peek when he did that off-the-fence punch.
Well, maybe. Who knows? But I think it's excellent. I think it should happen. I think it should happen. It has to happen.
Should happen. Should happen.
Should happen. Yeah. Next question for Frankie Edgar, man. What does he do? Another close fight. Does he stay at featherweight? Does he go back up to lightweight? Or does he even drop, like you suggested, maybe drop down to bantamweight?
Well, I'll tell you what I think he should do. Then I'm going to tell you what's probably going to happen.
Okay,
and then I'm going to go give a free one out there to Joe Silva in case he's listening.
Okay, let's go.
Bring out your notebook. I'll tell you exactly what to do. What he should do is drop down to 135 because it's open right now.
Dominic
and instead of just going straight to the title fight, he should get one warm-up fight at 135. Then
you're out of favor, maybe?
Yeah. That'll sell out pay-per-view. And then work his way to the title shot. But he should really drop to 135. Jose Aldo still look bigger than him at 145.
Yeah.
Now let me tell you what he's going to do. He's going to stay at 145 and fight another top 5 fighter. I'm thinking Chad Mendes.
If Mendes comes out.
So that's
Mendes is fighting in Anaheim.
That's why Joe Silva should take out his notebook right now. Because if Chad Mendes wins, it should be Chad Mendes versus Frankie Edgar. Winner fights winner Jose Aldo versus Anthony Pettis.
That's a good point. Actually.
That one's free, Joe Silva, but I ain't gonna give you no more free ones like that.
And probably the biggest one is well, the funniest one is Alistair Overeem sticking his head out a little too far and get knocked out by Bigfoot, now that leaves a big old gaping hole for Cain Velasquez. Who's he going to fight next? It was supposed to be Overeem if he got past Bigfoot, which he thought he was, which he said he was.
Again, I'll do the same thing again. And Joe Silva, keep the notebook out.
You just said you're going to give him another one.
I know. What can I say?
2 for 1.
I'm a nice guy. Let me give you some free ones here, okay? Anyways, let me tell. Okay, what should happen?
Okay, so people are saying basically that Stefan Struve and Mark Hunt, that should be no more contender match.
And it should be. I mean, Stefan Struve has a 3-fight winning streak. So does Mark Hunt.
But they don't fight till May, though.
But they don't fight till May, and that'll put Cain Velasquez in the shelves.
Maybe till June. That's what, 6 months. He last fought in this. That's way too long from the. Especially if he's healthy. Come on now.
And Verdum is fighting Big Nog.
And I think June too. I think so. Yeah. Verdum's out of the question.
Both of those fights makes Cain Velasquez wait a long time.
And I don't care what JDS says. He does not deserve a direct rematch. Not the way you lost. It was not a razor.
He got dominated.
It was not a
5
razor thin
rounds.
decision. You lost. You got dominated. Get back in the octagon and fight and win, and then we'll talk about another title shot. Don't go on Twitter and say, "Oh, another shot." No, win a fight first.
If you want some of AKA, he knows who to call out. Tud Duffy, dog. And guess what? Tud Duffy will put you back down too. So if I was Tud Duffy, I say you call out JDS. Stand up for Cain Velasquez, dog. Show what the Duff man's about and build his face in again, dog.
Okay, so Bigfoot wins, but can you justify him getting a title shot the way he lost to Cain Velasquez last time? It would basically demolish, almost murdered, so much blood on the canvas. Yeah, you thought, how does the guy even have a second shot against Cain Velasquez? But you say it might happen, right? Well, even Dana White said it might happen.
Yeah, he said that's the only thing that seems reasonable. But, I mean, it sucks because, like, he did lose so bad. But whatever. I mean, I'll take an easy win for Cain.
Yeah, even our producer, Guillermo, made a point that he's had 2 wins since that loss. 2 impressive wins. He finished both his fighters. So he's a hot hand right now.
It's hard to say he shouldn't fight him.
Joe Silva has his writing pad waiting for you.
Okay, so Joe Silva, you still got that pen ready? Because this is your main and co-main event right here. It's going to be Bigfoot Silva versus Cain Velasquez for heavyweight belt, and JDS versus Overeem.
The co-main event?
Co-main event. There you go. That one's for free. And I'm telling you, I might give you a 50% discount next week, but we'll see.
But that should be the burning questions. I mean, we'll just see what happens, pan out. We'll see what the future holds and see if Dana White and Joe Silva take your advice, Albert.
So what do we got for next week, Alex?
Next week we have a full preview for UFC on Fuel, Barrio versus McDonald for the Bantamweight Championship. And also a preview of Bellator 89, 90? It's every week now, but they're numbering them, which is weird. So like by the end of the month, they'll have a Bellator 100, right?
But not if you really want to know the number, you can go to FiveRoundMMA.com. There's a nice little calendar in the bottom to tell you exactly what number it is.
I should go to FiveRoundMMA.com. I don't even know what the numbers are. But yeah, guys, thanks for listening today. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at FiveRoundMMA. Subscribe to us on iTunes and YouTube, and always check out the website, FiveRoundMMA.com. Albert, you got any parting words?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to our executive producer, Anthony Soriana, our producer, Guillermo Cita, our sound engineer, Ollie. One of these days, he's going to give us some sound effects, choo-choo trolley. And but before I go, I want you guys all to go check out CounterMove.com. It's like a fantasy MMA league. We're actually going to put a link up where you can play against us on our website, FiveRoundMMA.com. So please go check out that link. See if you're better than us. I doubt it.
There you go. What more than any of you guys want than to shut Albert up? Come on, guys.
So go ahead and check that out on our link.
And one more thing, too. Shout out to Kevin Lee. He had some really interesting funny tweets last night.
Some awesome tweets.
Almost him and Miguel Torres. Funny tweets of the night, I thought.
Yeah, Kevin Lee. I'm gonna put your Twitter on the top because, man.
a lot of insightful stuff. He's a fighter. And fighter with a sense of humor. So he's joking around with you guys. So make sure you guys
if you guys are not following Kevin Lee, follow him. I mean, that guy is awesome. He's a good fighter. Awesome tweets. Check him out.
Yeah, guys. All right. See you guys next week.